Keep biting. Right, excuse how I look. I've just woken up. I've actually got a bit of a headache as well. And I'm gonna make a video. So I actually found a video on my laptop. I don't really even remember making it, and I think I must have made it, honestly, just after Alfie died last year. So he died on the 29th of March 2020, and in the video I sunbathe at one point, and Dubai gets really, really hot. From like May, you would not go out and sunbathe. So I feel like I must have made this in April, so like in the couple of weeks after he died. I don't think I make that much sense in the video. Yeah, I don't really remember it. Like I remember sitting outside Waitrose car park, but that's about it. So sorry, it's a bit of like a jumble. I can't even work out what the topic is, like what I was trying to talk about. I think it's either about hobbies or emotions, but I can't quite work out what my theme is. I just obviously wasn't in a very good place when I tried to make it. I don't know why I tried to make it. But anyway, I thought I would just use it and then I'll add a bit to it and make a decision to focus it on emotions, not hobbies. Because I didn't seem to be able to do that last year. I've woken up feeling not the best this morning. So I've come to a cafe for breakfast with my book, which is something I love to do. I'm reading Soul for Happy by Mo Gawdat. I'm actually reading this as part of another book club, but like a more informal one, just with some people in my family. I used to have a massive issue with spending money, which I know is like quite common to eating disorders. But I had this big thing of like, especially if I was feeling down, like I needed to do good things to feel better. And in my book, good things were like saving calories, saving money, I don't know, using up leftovers, being productive, completing my to-do list, whatever. And I always kind of felt like, right, sacrifice now and you'll be happy later. And like the thought of going to a cafe on my own for breakfast was absolute hell. Just like wasn't really achieving anything, so like far from make me feel better, it would actually make me feel worse, because I'd be like, oh, and now you've spent unnecessary money, unnecessary calories, da 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 da. If I actually like look back at all those years where I was saving money, saving calories, whatever, like it never really made me happy. It kind of just made me like a bit boring, a bit miserable, missing out on things and not doing things like kind of would have liked to do. Like I was so jealous looking at people sat in cafes with a book, and I'd be like, oh my god, I wish I could do that. Especially if they were in there with like a coffee and something to eat, because again, in my mind that was like really unnecessary. Like if you're going to go to a cafe, you have to buy something. So I'd be like, buy one thing, the cheapest thing. And then if it's a coffee, like ask for extra water so you can really eke it out. And ugh, I think maybe I just got to a point where I was like, is this really working for me? Like, is all of this scrimping and saving really making me happy? There's that thing of like, there's no point being the richest and skinniest person in the grave. And I think as like the eating disorder was moving out, I was like, right, let's move some other things in. Time for a change. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Like, if I always just watch other people do stuff I wish I could do, I'm constantly just gonna be like that left out, jealous person sat on the sidelines of life. Smells so good. Wasn't the best. A family came at the end and sat really close to me with a pram, and I don't know, I just get a bit upset, and then it's like just distracted me. I like couldn't focus on my book, so I tried to like write some stuff, couldn't focus on that either, so then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave. Also, the breakfast wasn't even that nice. The toast was like really, what's the word, like dense, and also quite sweet, and then I had like a hazelnut latte, so it's actually just made me feel a little bit sick. But anyway, like, food doesn't have to be perfect. I'll just go another time and get eggs instead. I guess this is like a good example of, it's not like I've just got rid of eating disorder and then life's moved into its place and now everything's just perfect. It's not been like a one-to-one swap for like anorexia out, hobbies in, everything's fine. Not at all. Like, I still get sad, still have shit days, I still get frustrated or bored. I have times where I like go to do something and my head's just not in it, or I just don't enjoy it, and then I'm like, And sometimes like then I just can't focus on stuff where I'm like not interested in things, and it's not like hobbies have filled my world and made everything perfect. Which in recovery, it can kind of be like you're looking for, like you're so scared to lose your eating disorder, which has controlled so much of your life, that you want to know there's something reliable to fill its place that's gonna work. In reality, like, I don't think it does always. You haven't got like fail-proof hobbies that are just going to make you feel brilliant every single day, and they don't always operate as like a replacement for your eating disorder in terms of that like short-term quick fix that you could potentially get from like restriction or whatever eating disorder behavior. So I think some of it for me has been a realization that it's not just swapping my eating disorder for something else, even if that something else is healthier. It's like realizing that like some days I am just going to feel shit, but I think the difference is now, like, I try to look after myself during those times and like be kind to myself, do nice things. In the past, I was kind of trying to like achieve my way out of emotions all the time. Like if I felt a bit bad, it was like, oh my God, get my to-do list out. What can I do to make myself feel better? Everything was so external. Like, to make myself feel better, I needed to do something well, and then I would feel okay. Well, short term feel okay anyway. I don't know if now I'm just not trying to like fix my emotions quite as much, and I'm trying to be nicer to myself. So now I'll like go to a cafe, spend money on myself, still like use my perfume when I'm at home, or light candles, listen to music, try and read a book if that works, or like watch TV, listen to a podcast. Like, it's not necessarily productive pursuits. I'm not achieving my way out of my emotions. It's really shitty and horrible, and I'm honestly not that good at it, but I think I'm just trying to like wait for things to pass a bit more, be nice to myself in the meantime. Like, I'm trying to just like build up a like toolbox of things that I can use that I either like enjoy or that will make me feel better if I'm feeling a bit down, but that are also like healthier in the long term and aren't gonna like destroy my life in the process of using them. The animals are getting their hair cut today. Bertie is getting his done first. Hey, you got a haircut. Come on, boy. Stevie's like, what the shit is that? She's not happy about that? Oh. You guys are next. They've literally been under the beds. This is actually a nightmare trying to catch them. Good girl. Okay. She's not happy. It's okay, sweetheart. Okay. Come on. Stevie, come on. I'm not in the mood for this. Come on. Good girl. Stevie, no. God's sake, Stevie. No. It looks like she should be so easy to get. Please just stay there. Come on, pop it. Stevie, Stevie, Stevie. No. Stevie. Literally so stressed out. I actually can't catch her, so just take B, and then I'm gonna have to come home for her. I think he can sense it. Are you trying to make me feel better? Yes, thank you, darling. I'm stressed, and you're helping. The cats aren't. They don't like getting their hair cut. After all that, the guy wasn't even there. So you're free for a bit, B. We're going back later. Gonna lie in the sun and read my book. Hey, no, don't chew that. Gonna try and calm myself down. I actually feel really sorry for myself in it. I feel like I just want to go and give myself a hug. Like, yeah, remembering that time right after Alfie had died. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, we were in lockdown right after Alfie had died, and I go out in the video. I like go to a cafe. Why on earth did I make this video? Anyway, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like last year sometime. I was gonna make porridge, but I just feel like I can't be bothered with like the washing up and stuff, and I just can't be asked. Let's just have a porridge pot. Sorry, I know we should be saving the planet and all that, but I have a headache. I don't actually even know if we've got enough milk for this. No. God's sake. Right. Right, I had a friend to stay a couple of weeks ago, and she used this oat milk, and there is some left in the fridge, so I guess I'll just top it up with that, which I hope doesn't go off, because she was here a couple of weeks ago. Oh, also, bloody hell. Our fridge froze over the other day. We accidentally set the freezer too cold and it moved into the fridge and froze the fridge. So this is actually frozen, but whatever. This was supposed to be an easy option. Also, I know on these porridge packets it says just add water, but to me that is bullshit. Like, I want a nice creamy milky porridge, and that was also quite a disordered behaviour for me, so definitely when I read just add water I think no. Not for me. Don't do that shit anymore, Meg. Oh, I've got some blueberries actually. Although these also got frozen in the big fridge freeze, so God knows. I don't know if they're going to be okay. Yum. Right, I'm not sure how well I'm actually going to be able to eat and talk, but let's see. Right, I tried to make a list of some things to do with emotions. Stuff which I've like learnt in treatment, learnt from my psychologist. Anyway, I'm by no means an expert. Obviously I'm not a professional, and I'm definitely not perfect at coping with my emotions. But it's chewing up some sort of stick over there. So one thing my psychologist taught me was to see emotions as like a message, maybe prompting me to do something. So like if I do something horrible to a friend and I feel guilty for it, like that's probably telling me I need to go and like say sorry or make amends or something. Or like if I'm feeling lonely, which is something I've had. So I work from home in the day and I go long stretches of time not talking to anyone, not seeing anyone. Like I work with a team in the US and I'm sat in Dubai, so there's a 9-hour time difference and my meetings and stuff don't start until 4 p.m. Bren doesn't get home till 4 p.m. So anyway, yeah, I was getting lonely in the day. So like that's telling me, okay, I need to do something with more people. So I like joined book club to meet people. I now go to a cafe every morning and sit there and work just to be around people, to get out the house. Like I just got a bit bored being at home all the time. But that's like feeling an emotion as a message and doing something directly related to that message, not like numbing it through starvation, distracting from it with like counting calories or focusing on my food, or like even trying to replace it with a completely unrelated feel good. So like in my eating disorder, I had a real tight hold over money, kind of went alongside food restriction. And so I wouldn't have wanted to go to a cafe because I'd have been like, well, then you've spent money, you've spent calories, what a waste. Like, you'd be better off staying at home, save your money, save your calories. Great. But then at the end of that, I'm still lonely. So yeah, now I try and like listen to the emotion and respond to that rather than turn my focus onto food and money, because that didn't ever make me happy. Actually, it probably made me lonelier, really. And now that I go to a cafe every day, I feel so much better. Like, my mood's so much better from having gotten out of the house, been around people. So like, yeah, I've spent more money, I've had maybe more calories than I would have done at home, but I'm happier for it. Really difficult to talk and eat. I thought it would be. Another thing which has probably been the biggest emotional realization for me is realizing that it's okay to not be okay. You know, like, feelings pass. However I feel now, I didn't feel like this last week, and I won't feel like it again next week. But I don't need to quick fix my way out of that or turn to food to cope. Like, I can sit with feeling a little bit shit. I can tolerate it. And that's not to say it feels nice. Like, it doesn't. I hate feeling crappy, but it does pass. And it's okay. Like, I can just feel a little bit shit. I don't need to feel okay all the time or perfect all the time. So like, when I'm feeling rubbish now, things I would do would be like self-soothe, like light a candle, listen to some music, have a bath, do something nice for myself, do like activities I enjoy, like I'll go into the pool with my book, which we're quite lucky to be able to do now the weather's nice. I'll maybe like play the piano or do some art or something. And none of it's like a fix. It doesn't fix the emotion. I don't like light a candle when I'm sad and think, oh my god, now I'm so joyously happy. Yeah. It's not a magic fix. I think it just helps you to get through uncomfortable emotions in a way that's not destructive to you in the long term. Whereas with an eating disorder, I would have turned to food control or money control or something for like a feel good, but look at the shit it caused in the long term. Like, it completely sabotaged my life, my values, my personality, who I wanted to be. So sometimes I feel like the ways I cope now maybe aren't even as effective. I don't know if that's true. But certainly in the short term, but I'm not using them to like fix the emotion. I'm using them to sit with it, tolerate it, distract from it, allow it, and just wait for it to pass. Like when Alfie died, we were obviously not in a good place. And we did a lot of puzzles. And it's not like we sat down to a puzzle and got up at the end of it and we're like, yay! But I also didn't get up at the end of it and go, now I'm freezing cold, now I'm isolated, now I'm thinking about food all day, now I'm rigid and routined and boring. So we'd like light some candles, listen to a podcast, do a puzzle, and just feel awful, really. I actually feel like I owe Alfie so much with that. I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna cry because I can't give him enough back, but yeah, I feel like, it's really weird to say, but I feel like that's been like I don't know how to say it, but like a huge gift from him. Which is weird, because like losing a baby, like I can't even describe the pain that we've been in with it. But at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of shown me like I can actually cope with anything. I can tolerate anything, I can feel anything, like, yeah. I think all throughout my eating disorder, I was so terrified of feeling anything other than okay. Like, eat this today and you'll feel okay. Hit this target, weigh this amount, fit these jeans and you'll feel okay. I lived in like a controlled state of okay. And I'd use anything to avoid feeling horrible feelings, like to-do lists, being busy, being productive, saving money, saving calories. All these things that I was like, good, now you'll feel okay. But yeah, after losing Alfie, like, I've sat in months of not feeling okay, feeling the worst I've ever felt. I feel like I'm not as scared of it now, and I'd do anything to make it different and to be able to give him more back. Like, it doesn't feel right that I feel like he's given us so much. Like, I'm so grateful to Alfie, you know, like for all the love he's given me, how much I love him, how proud I am of him, and yeah, just I feel like he's taught me so much. I wish I could give it back, and obviously I wish it had not happened, but yeah. Let me show you Bertie. He sits and like looks at other dogs under our gate. Hi, Bert. Hiya, darling. Sorry, that was very sad and morbid and probably sounds quite weird to people. I don't really know how to explain it properly, but we've got this little saying for Alfie. We say, his little life changed our big lives forever. Which I think is lovely. And it's so true. My porridge has actually gone cold now. I'm talking too much. I'm just going to finish it and then I'll talk. I'm actually sweating under my boobs. It's so gross. I don't know why either, the porridge was cold. Another saying I love to do with emotions. So it's okay to not be okay, and this too shall pass. And I feel like using that for the good times and the bad, because you can't think like, okay, phew, I feel good, now things are okay, everything's all right, now I feel good, because that's going to pass too, and then things are going to feel shit again, and then what are you going to do? I honestly feel like in my illness I was addicted to feeling okay or to feeling good. It's just not realistic, like it's not life. And look at the behaviours I used to try and do it. Like overall I wasn't making things good or making me happy or anyone around me. I think that's again something Alfie's taught me. I keep talking about Alfie, but yeah, something I kind of really hope I can like pass on to his brothers and sisters. It's not trying to be happy all the time, but actually learning to be sad, like learning to sit with being sad, to tolerate it, to know that it's okay. Like it's actually easy to feel happy, but I feel like people can spend a lot of time trying to run away from feeling sad or anxious or stressed or frustrated or like any of those not so nice emotions. Right, I'm really getting hot out here, so I'm gonna go inside and I'll record again in a bit. She gone. Right, I've just been out for lunch with my friend, which was so nice. We just chatted and chatted and chatted, and then picked up a Starbucks on the way home. I've got an iced toffee nut latte. I've still got a bit of a headache, so I was kind of hoping something sweet might help. I feel like seeing friends is another huge emotional coping mechanism for me. And even if I'm not like feeling down or whatever, just especially like seeing my best friends and just chatting to them, like I just feel like it fills me up so much. And it's something I could probably actually get better at as well. Like something my psychologist pointed out is that I'm not always very good at like reaching out. Like if I need help, I'm very like, I'll cope on my own. Yeah, I feel like I do a lot of coping on my own. So yeah, I'm like by no means perfect at all about coping with emotions, but definitely seeing good, lovely friends is such a nice thing for me. And another thing I've started doing in the last couple of years is going hiking in the mountains with one of my good friends. I just love like being out in nature, being outside, yeah, being in the mountains. It is such a like fill me up for me. So that's another good emotional tool. Like when I was editing what I said this morning over breakfast, I feel like I almost made it sound like, I don't know, I kind of just like sit in a pit of despair and have to learn how to tolerate that and cope with that. And it's not at all. Like some of the things I use as emotional coping mechanisms do really help. Like they can really cheer me up or calm me down. And sometimes like if I'm feeling a bit sad and I can cheer myself up, like that's great. But then other times if I'm feeling a bit sad and I can't cheer myself up, like it's okay to just feel a little bit sad as well. Oh, also, I have a bit of a shit show going on with the nail situation. 2 of my gels came off, and so I was like, oh, I'll just paint them to match the others, but I couldn't find the nail colour which matched. So I went for a different colour which does not match at all, and I'm left with this funky situation. Anyway. Right, I should probably end this video here before it gets insanely long. In fact, it probably already is. But I'll try and post again in the next couple of weeks, so either next weekend or the weekend after. But lots of love until then.